Hello, my name is Chad Hebert, and I'm here today to share the basics of aquaponics with you. Aquaponics, in just a basic explanation, is fish and plants growing together in a symbiotic way, meaning the fish are the fertilizer and the plant is the filter. And so a pump is utilized to move water around and take that high nutrient-rich fish waste and fertilize the vegetables. The vegetables in turn clean the fish waste and return it back to the fish tank clean water. The number one reason why people should be interested in aquaponics and this type of growing is really access and security. When you take control of it and you grow your own, you dictate the timeline. You're not waiting. You can grow things that maybe out of season or difficult for you to buy, or traditional foods that aren't accessible to you. So it gives you a lot of freedom to be able to grow what you want when you want it. Aquaponics has really increased in popularity for many reasons. It's actually older technology that's kind of being reinvented. One, the world supply of fish has been capped and the demand continues to rise. Even here in the United States, consumers are eating more fish for health reasons and other purposes, and that's why there's an interest in aquaculture and aquaponics. On the vegetable end of things in the aquaponics, you're really limited to your imagination. You really have the freedom to grow anything you want. But when you look at aquaponics and efficiency, you want to grow things that are good filters, fast growing, taste good, or high value, expensive to buy at the store, because you can do that at your house yourself. The barriers of entry are pretty low, meaning you can adapt low cost, low tech approach to do this. Again, with a small footprint, you can create not only healthy, fresh vegetables all year, but a protein source as well. And so to do that with any other source takes a lot more inputs and a lot bigger space to do that. Those are kind of the criteria, but you're really not limited to anything at all. You can grow everything from leafy greens to watermelons and everything in between. So. Yeah, the Women's Environmental Institute implemented some aquaponics systems a better part of 10 years ago, and part of that initiation was off-season production to fill the void here in Minnesota when the field crops are done in November and access to food is pretty scarce. Aquaponics really fits in off-season production, and that's really what WEI is really focused on over the last 10 years, is using their aquaponics to supplement their winter production. Takes some preparation and preparedness, but when you can get there, it's really satisfying to have a pantry full of food that you can share with your family, your neighbors, and maybe people in need as well. So. It is important to not just have aquaponics, but a connection to your food. Since 1950, as a society, we've kind of lost that connection with food. I work with a lot of young people, and if you ask them where their food comes from, they'll tell you a grocery store or a package. They've kind of lost that raw ingredient part of it. And so having the knowledge, really at any level, just helps you connect, make educated decisions about health and well-being, and foods that can heal. Having 100 days of food means food security and access to fresh, available food. Moving forward, especially in light of the pandemic and the unrest we had this summer, we don't know what's moving forward. And so to be prepared and having some food really is going to alleviate any shortages we might have, or be able to supplement or share with your neighbors. So having 100 days of food. I like to tell people I'm 100% an accidental farmer. I started about 10 years ago in the community garden with my 2 young kids, and just immediately saw the connection they had to the food they grew. I encounter a lot of kids that say, oh, I don't eat broccoli, or I don't eat this. But when they take pride and ownership and they put the effort in and they grow it, it becomes the best vegetable, whatever that may be. And it kind of grew from there. And then being in Minnesota, running into the weather thing, right? We get to at this time of the year, October, November, and access to fresh local food becomes non-existent. And so I wanted to look at off-season production, and aquaponics fit that so well. So That's kind of how the entire process started, and it's going to continue to grow.